keep safe to build. Okay, close. I don't need to learn more about moderation. All right, everybody. Oh, so I'm gonna quickly clean the lens. There we go. We're live in the studio with the Scotchy Bourbon Boy, Tiny. Welcome everybody on YouTube. I am going to put that in. Looks like that's exactly what needs to happen right there. All right, I've got that. I'm going to check YouTube real quick and leave a message, and we will get this ready to rock and roll. I have some exciting news too, so that'll be kind of cool once that goes. Let's go, Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Should be live. There it is, live. Let's make sure the sound is working. So that'll be kind of cool. Yep, sound is working. Welcome to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys podcast. Please tell us where you're from and what you're sipping on tonight. Glad to have you. All right, there we go. It's looking good. I'm going to switch this around like it's supposed to be because it's much better that way. And I'm going to load this up right here into the YouTube. So I'll monitor all YouTube comments and I monitor all Facebook comments. So everybody, welcome tonight to this cool podcast. One of the things that I got to do beforehand is I got to cover the sponsors. So let's start off with our sponsors. Right now, here we go. Whiskey Thief Distilling Company. Whiskey Thief Distilling Company is our sponsor. Walter Zausch, the owner there, has a fantastic experience. It's a barrel pick all day, every day. Everything that you put in the bottle and you thief to take home is uncut and unfiltered. So Whiskey Thief Distilling Company, fantastic experience. It's one of a kind. For the price of admission, you basically get to have 5 barrels thieved for you, taste them, and if you like one, you can buy a bottle and fill it yourself. So fantastic experience there in Frankfort on the Three Boys Farm there in Frankfort, Kentucky, but also their newly opened tasting room in Louisville in the New Lou section. Same exact thing. A barrel pick all day, every day. 5 barrels to choose from for the price of admission. You taste them, and if you like one, you can fill your own bottle. Fantastic experience. Don't miss out. All right. Our other sponsor is Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. They're just opening their huge, gigantic new distillery. It's not open to the public as far as tours, but that's going to be coming up soon. But they are making some of the best spirits, I believe, in the country, right here in Ohio. So they are our newest sponsor, and on the audio podcast, I just finished my voiceover. So check that out. Check out Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. They are in all 48 states. And this Michelin bourbon, this one is the straight wheated bourbon whiskey at cask strength. It's fantastic. Like I said, some of the best bourbon that you're going to taste. Ryan Lang there is just doing an amazing job. They basically are running both their distilleries. Their original craft distillery never missed a beat. It runs 24/7 and then straight into their newest distillery. So check out Middle West Spirits in Columbus and pick one up off the shelf. And then we've got the Spirit of French Lick there in French Lick, Indiana. French Lick is one of the the Spirit of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana. It is one of the best distilleries. Alan Bishop was the master distiller there, and he has left, but his whiskey is still there. So you got to check them out. With their Lee W. Sinclair, but in this case, this is a Lillian Sinclair. And if you're interested, this was one of the last barrel. It was the last barrel pick that Alan did while he still was associated with the Spirit of French Lick, and the Scotchy Bourbon boys have gotten it. So if you're interested in tasting it, check it out. Let me know if you're interested in any way. So the Spirit of French Lick, our sponsor, and check them out in French Lick, Indiana. Then also Rosewood Bourbons and Ryes. Jason Giles doing a fantastic job down there. If you see it on the shelf, you need to pick it up because he does a great job with Rosewood Bourbons and Ryes. And last, we've got Old Louisville, Amin Carr, Old Louisville Whiskey Company in Louisville, Kentucky. You got to check it out. The experience is unlike no other. He's got barrels, and you basically can go there, take a tour, taste from some barrels, buy or bottle it on your own. So he's got some really, really good aged stock. You got to check it out. The Old Louisville Whiskey Company in Louisville, Kentucky. All right. So we are ready to get this ball rolling. Some great news. There for a while, we weren't able to put on Little Steve-O singing the Alabama song because we were in the middle of a dispute that he couldn't do the cover song for some reason, even though the Doors, the Alabama song is a cover song for the Doors. So, excuse me, based off that, I really think that there wasn't a dispute, but we won the dispute, and you'll be hearing Little Steve-O again, and I'm so excited. So let's get this ball rolling. I'm going to, what'll happen is to start this. Oh my God, come on. To start this, I'm right there. You'll be a 30-second pause, and I will get this rolling. And then you'll hear our theme song by Kenny Fuller, and I'll get the ball rolling. All right, here we go. Hello. 10-4, 10-4. Wait. 10-4, 10-4. Really? I can hear it, but it's not from the left. Why is my microphone? Let's see. Let's see. I have a little technical difficulty right here because I am not picking. I can hear it. It seems to be working, but no system preferences. No podcast studio preferences. I will turn this on and turn it off. Okay. Why is my microphone not working? I hear it. Let's try it from this way. All right. Now it's working. That's crazy. All right. So good thing I caught that. All right. So here we go. We are going to start the recording. I already did that. Oh, that was from this one. All right. Skip. All right. Here we go.
sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild in the show fun to watch. Love what we do, we're drinking every food. Man, it's all sunshine, but we take it. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys. Racing in hell, making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys. We're here to have fun. We're here to have fun. Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here tonight, here to have some fun, make some announcements, and pay some bills and get this whole thing going, this March Madness, because it's only March 4th and it's been crazy already. That's what March is about. March is all about that, but we'll get to that. Remember, www.scotchybourbonboys for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Glen Cairns t-shirts, you name it, we got it. Check it out. Also, if you're interested, we've got barrel picks. Just contact me and I'll tell you what we've got. Let you know and we'll get you hooked up. And then also remember, we're on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, hopefully TikTok soon. I've been thinking about it, but I just want to make sure all the deal and everything, that it just doesn't get cut off after I get it all set up. And then also all the major podcast formats: Apple, iHeart, Spotify, and any other way that you listen. But remember, no matter where you're watching, listening, make sure that you comment, like, listen, subscribe, and leave good feedback. That's all very important for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys going forward. We have so much going on right now that it's absolutely exciting and spectacular. So we've got good evening from Scotland. We've got Michael from Scotland. And you guys on Facebook, feel free to check in. Most of you guys, I know where you're from, but if you're here listening or whatever, let us know where you're from and where you're listening from. That's always kind of a cool thing. And we love to have you on. We are on consistently Tuesday and Thursday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live unless I'm traveling, and I will be traveling next week. So Tuesday and Thursday, I might do a live. I'm not sure. I'm going to have the equipment with me. And then Tuesday, look for the loading of the Maker's Mark podcast, and I should be able to get that up on Facebook. And then also, I'm hoping to get the video up if I can do it from. I'll get that up on YouTube. But as far as I'll also load the video on Facebook on next Tuesday. I'll just upload them. So I'll have the have the files and see what I can do. It's going to be on my phone, so that'll be kind of cool. With that said, the whole aspect of this podcast tonight is March Madness within the whiskey industry. The reason why March is like the comeback month for whiskey in the United States, because the distilleries, right before it really hit hard and heavy with their drops before Christmas, maybe a little bit before New Year's, but after that it kind of cools its jets. Now this year in Ohio it hasn't completely cooled its jets, but it's been there's been some stuff and then whatever, but it's not been super the big guys dropping tons of stuff. Well, that changes in March. There's a good chance you might be able to see your first bookers coming out, and you're going to see some of the bigger places dropping different things. Plus, the state of Ohio just went crazy, and it's only March 4th. Tonight, they did a email at 5 o'clock, sent it out to everybody, and had a drop at 6 o'clock. I was able to pick up this Elmer T. Lee when I was out. I basically have this much left in my other bottle that Super Nash gave me a couple years ago, and now I've got the current batch. So That's going to be a podcast. I'm going to compare the current batch with the batch from about, I think this is 4 years old, 4 or 5. I'll figure it out, but that's going to be a podcast. And then also, I was able to pick up for myself this Woodford double oak. This is one of my all-time favorites. I couldn't believe it was on the shelf. It was there. But also, if you got there early, now I wasn't able to because I had an appointment and everything. And I got this Elmer T with 5. I got there at 5 to 6. And so I also could have went back in line and gotten a Weller 12. Weller 12 was plentiful. I even might be able to go tomorrow morning and get a Weller 12. There was that much Weller 12 there. Also, they had Eagle Rare, they had CYPB, they did not have the single barrel where I was, Weller single barrel, but they had the CYPB and then also the Coy Hill Jack Daniels. So that was a fantastic drop tonight. But not only are we dealing with, when you're doing this, and what we're dealing with is, not only are you dealing with what's happening in the bourbon industry, but also now we've got the Irish whiskey thing going. This past weekend, the state of Ohio promoted a couple and had distilleries from Ireland come over and do a Friday, I believe it was a Thursday in Toledo, Friday in Cleveland, and Saturday in Columbus. And they basically were promoting the Irish whiskey before St. Patrick's Day. Of course, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Now, we're going to be trying to get down to Burns Pub in Columbus, where Martin Kennedy and Pat Burns have their Bua brand. And that's going to be coming out a little bit after St. Patrick's Day. We're going to basically come down there and do a podcast for there. So that's going to be happening later March. And then tonight, though, to celebrate the madness, I have the Fercullen 15. I'm just going to do a quick, I'm not going to even do a rating, a quick review. And I've got this Scotchy Bourbon Boys exclusive. CT went on this pick last year at Augusta for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. And this bottle I was able to pick up there. Augusta is a great distillery in Augusta, Kentucky. If you want to go back, look at my podcast with Alex Castle, their master distiller. She's doing a fantastic job. It's a great place. I would suggest anybody, if they can get there, you want to get there. There's a lot of barrel thieving. They only do single barrels. It's just a really cool place with really good whiskey. So tonight, that's what we're going to be doing as far as that goes. But now, there was the other aspect, is that our YouTube dispute over the Alabama song cover that Little Steve-O has done is over, and we were victorious. So Little Steve-O will take us out again in future podcasts, and maybe do a couple starts. I'll switch off with Kenny Fuller and the Scotchy Bourbon Boys theme song, and I just kind of put them one in the front, one in the back. But I was so glad excuse me, to be able to get that dispute won and behind us. And I really believe Little Steve-O bringing the Alabama song, he did such a fantastic job that even BMI Records thought that was Jim Morrison singing it. I don't think so. There's a lot different in it. Used electronic synthesizer instead of what the Doors had done. And so he had done a really good job, and I'm glad. So anybody else? Let's see. It's like, so I'm going to do the Fercullen 15 year first, and I'm going to give you a little thing about it. Fercullen. This 15-year-old Irish whiskey is distilled from a mash of corn and malt. So that's kind of cool, because a lot of times it's just malt. Matured initially in its first fill ex-bourbon barrels and married with Madeira cask finished whiskey. So there you go. I mean, that is the coolest thing. a 15-year-old Irish from a marriage of ex-bourbon and Madeira barrel finished Irish grain whiskeys, soft vanilla notes combined with hazelnut, toasted caramel, and chocolate in this exquisite traditional Irish whiskey. So, let's see, the Powers Court Distillery, distilled, matured, and bottled in Ireland. So this is basically a combination of their corn and malt whiskey finished in Madeira and then finished in bourbon and then mixed together. So that's really kind of cool. So I'll let you know what I think of it. We're getting this one going. I don't know if anybody else, but this is the Irish part of the madness. I mean, when can you? I mean, it just gets crazy. In my opinion, the craziness happens because not only are you getting the bourbon drops, but you're also getting the Irish whiskey and into a little bit into Irish whiskey. And the Scotchy Bourbon boys over the past couple years have really done St. Patrick's Day. We've done it with Matt Leisen. Now this year I'm going to be going and coming back, and so I'm not going to be able to do St. Patrick's Day, but we should do a St. Patrick's Day something going forward. I mean, my March is busy as hell, but I think you could celebrate St. Patrick's Day as long as you're still in the month of March. That's just my opinion. All right, this Fercullen, it's got a really vanilla nose. Yeah, it really drinks well. It's a 15-year-old, and the flavors in it are just fantastic. Let me see. The dark chocolate. I think the dark chocolate mixed with the vanilla causes that hazelnut that they talk about. It's a delicious. I mean, that one plus because it's got a little bit of corn and it's been in there, it's not as light as some of the Irish whiskeys that you get. So that's the Fercullen 15. I highly recommend, if you can get this, I highly recommend you pick up the Fercullen 15. It's a treat. I'd say if I had to give it a rating, I'd say bottle. That's really good, especially for Irish whiskey. Let's see what we got as far as the proof. What did I do with those? Are they on my head? Nope. You know, somewhere I had to put them. Did I put them over there? Yeah, I slid them around the corner. There they are. For a 15-year, a lot of times they're 80, but let's see. It is 83 proof, 41.5, 41% of that is weird. So it's 41% alcohol by volume, and then it says 83 proof, so it must be 41.5. Because 41 and 41 equals 82. That's unique. All right. So love that one. So this is the one I wanted to get to. Okay, we're this year I've been on the Woodford Double Oak pick, and CT has been on the Brown Foreman single barrel pick for Old Forester. And that's what we've done this year. But last year, CT was able to go to Augusta and be on this pick for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. The coolest thing is you can see that Distiller's Row right on the neck of there. That means that pick was for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. And I'm opening this straight up. This will be I have not had this. CT was talking about how good it was. when they picked it. I was able to pick up one for him, and so very exciting. So let's see. I'll give you the lowdown on the hoedown. Now, I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, like when a bourbon has to become itself once it's in the bottle. And a lot of times that can't happen until once you open it. So this is a neck pour. This will have, but I did everything I could possibly do to get rid of it. And I put a little bit in, and I'll give you the lowdown on this bourbon whiskey. And we'll give a little bit on Augusta to keep going with the March Madness. The Augusta Distillery sits on the limestone banks of the small Kentucky river town for which it's named, on the region's rich building on the region's rich history. Every curated batch keeps to the strict bourbon tradition and tells a story of community and camaraderie. And then there's another little Kentucky Bourbon Festival down there. So it's 121.1, or actually 60.55 ABV. This is bottle 61 from the 2024. It is 118 months. 12 times 10. So that would be 12 times 10 is 120. So it's just 2 months short of 10 year. So there we go. The Augusta Distillery Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. All right, there we go. We've been waiting for this one, right? Let's do a live another day for St. Patrick's Day. Yes. All right. Interesting. Lots of dark. That picks up a lot of raisins and currants. It's a very nice. You could tell it's 10 year. So the craziness of the bourbon, overall, when you think about it. Hey, Thomas, he's here. And we also have Takach. Looks like I can't read Russian, so that's but hi to, I want to say, Morshenki. Okay, Foolproof Hunter. Cheers. Good to see you. Yeah, if you're a Foolproof Hunter, this Augusta, man, these single barrels that they put out, but this one's almost 10 years, and this is absolutely it really falls into those baking spices. But for 121 proof, it's easy as hell. And it picks up it's got a nice pepper to it, like on the finish. Very good, very good, very good whiskey. So that's what it is for the Augusta. But getting back to what the craziness of March. It's like when it comes to whiskey, it's got everything covered for it. You've got March Madness, you've got so many different. You've got the basketball tournament. I love to drink different whiskeys for every game I watch. I like have a pour if I'm watching as you go through the brackets, and I actually in my brackets fill out what bourbon I drank if I watch the game. So it's kind of cool to go about it. if you pick a bourbon that you really like when you watch a game and the team wins, then that bourbon can move on. That's another thing you can do. So you got the March Madness of the basketball tournament. You've got the finishing up of the NBA is finishing up. You've got hockey going. You've got spring training going, getting ready for baseball into late March or April. You've got, I believe this year, April is going to be Easter, but then you've got all the different releases. And today, the state of Ohio just went crazy. I believe that the amount of whiskey there was Colonel Taylor single barrel. There was, I mean, it's just crazy what they released and showed at 4 o'clock today, and then everybody ran, or actually 5 o'clock today, and then everybody was there at 6 o'clock. And people, everybody, I got there at 5 to 6, and I ended up with an Elmer T. Lee. I mean, you can't. Can you go wrong with that? I mean, how do you go wrong with that? How do you pick up MSRP Elmer T. Lee off of with basically about 20 minutes of wait time? And like I said, there was so much of the Weller 12. I think that there's a lot of lucky people just going back and getting more and more. So Matt Nieheisel, he basically here also, and he was able to get a lot of good stuff. So that was really kind of cool. Yeah, Foolproof was also they had Weller Foolproof, Weller single barrel, well, but not at my place. But they had Weller 12 CYPB and Weller 12 CYPB, Weller 12, foolproof, and then they also had the Weller single barrel plus Elmer T. Lee. They also had Eagle Rare, and then Coy Hill was also available. So Elmer T. Lee, and I believe there was one, oh, E.H. Taylor single barrel. So, I mean, it was just crazy what was released and what you were able to get. And here in the state of Ohio, I really believe OHLQ, we are in one of the best states, honestly, to be able to. Um, oh, Matt said Rock Hill Farms too. I did not see that, but I believe you got one. So that was another one. So it was a fantastic uh, day as far as the madness of what was going on. And it was a great day for the Scotchy Bourbon boys, in my opinion, because I did not think I would win a dispute for I never thought I would win a dispute for um when it comes to what was happening with the theme song for that we have with the Alabama song with Little Stevo. So winning that was pretty spectacular. And I'm just, at this point, it's been a great, great ride. Everybody, it's only March 4th, and all this exciting stuff has been going on. And here in here in the state of Ohio, OHLQ, I don't know how much more they can do for us, but the releases that they release, the availability that they have for us, the least amount of time you have to spend in line has been phenomenal. Plus, all the friendships that you make, and all the people you see, and how happy everybody is. So, that is really kind of a cool thing. And we absolutely love every aspect of what's happening, in this March. I just like to hear from you guys what you guys think of March, because it's really because it's like we're getting into spring. The bourbon hunting season's going to open up, and everybody should. This is just a fantastic, fantastic arena to be in. And uh, if contact us. Let us know what you think. We love doing this podcast. And, this was tonight, kind of a short but sweet podcast. I'm so excited. To be able to pull off, to walk into a store at 5 to 6, have a 6 o'clock release, at 10 after 6, walk out with this. I don't know what more you can say. This is some pretty spectacular stuff going on. So, loved. I mean, it's just I don't know what to say. You got to admit, Matt, and Matt, both Matts, Leisen and Matt Niehaus, it's just been a great ride here in Ohio. So, you know, a lot of times when you go down to Kentucky, you could find this stuff, but the liquor stores don't have to hold the MSRP. And so a lot of times people are always like, well, I wasn't able to find this, or I was able to find this, but it's cost $1,200, or this. This is just MSRP, what it is, what the distilleries are releasing. I mean, this is in my opinion, you can look at how dark that is. Look how dark the Woodford Double Oak is. I mean, the darkness on it is just spectacular. Um, that's coming from the double oaking. I mean, you're talking, I think this is triple oaked. Anyways, and it's something that's very hard to get, even at the distillery only release. And like I said, I've had this bottle of Elmer T. Lee for 4 years, and I've got this much left. But I'm going to do a podcast coming up, maybe even on Thursday, where we compare the two different Elmer T. Lees to see, to see which one is actually better. This is the first one. This was a gift from Super Nash, and this one is the first one I ever picked up in the wild. So it wasn't, as Matt Leisen says, it was an amazing day in Ohio. So, that's what we're dealing with. I think a lot of states do their own thing, but at the same time, um, this Ohio Liquor Board, I don't think it can last forever. I mean, but the people who are running it right now just do a phenomenal job. They do barrel picks for us throughout the state. They got Single Barrel Saturday, dropping barrels everywhere. Right now, the bourbon boom has, when it comes to the overall market, has really cooled. But when it comes to the stuff that the state of Ohio is dropping, it has not. I mean, when you're talking about the Buffalo Trace or these higher bottles, it's spectacular. They're starting to meet demands, and meeting demands, they're really kind of doing a really great job. So, very, very happy about what's happening and everything like that. So, all right, everybody. Tiny gonna check out right now. Um, gonna go, do whatever, but I appreciate everybody checking in. And for this Tuesday, and I think Thursday we've already come up with the next one is the comparison to the last 5 year Elmer T. Lees, and so that should be pretty much fun. And then it's off to it's off to Kentucky and Florida for us after Thursday, and then what in my opinion, after Thursday, just play it by ear, see what we put up, see what we got. I might do a couple lives, throughout the week where I'm at. I mean, if I'm at Jack Daniels, I might just do a live with Roxy while we're there. Who knows? But check out. It should be a fantastic weekend, and then I'm on vacation in Florida, and then I'll be back at it the week of St. Patrick's Day. So everybody, I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining in tonight. www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Just check it out, our bios and everything. You can find out everything. We've been podcasting for 6 years. And then also remember, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and also all the major podcast formats, mainly Apple, iHeart, and Spotify. But we're whatever or however you watch or listen to us, make sure you like, listen, subscribe, and leave good feedback. And remember, good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and make sure that you live your life uncut and unfiltered. Little Stevo will again finally take us out.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right, we're off there. Let me quick do my thing. Background noise. All right, file, publish to. For uploading. March Madness. Save. All right, so there we go. Let's do a live before or after St. Yeah, after St. Patrick's Day. Yes, I put it up the winners here with I put up. Yeah, I would say it makes the winter a little bit better. So, anyways, all right. So everybody, I'm gonna cut out for right now. I appreciate everybody watching on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm gonna close her down on YouTube. Thanks everybody for watching on YouTube. Couple hundred people. I really appreciate it tonight. And come check us out on check us out on Thursday 8:30. We'll be doing Elmer T. Lee. Thanks everybody.